Keego Harbor, we're a whopping less than 1 square mile. And we have Cass Lake Road as part of the Tifa district. And there's a little piece of Orchard Lake Road in there as well. Without sounding too technical, it's a tax vehicle. It captures money in a certain district. It's bounded by a region. And the money originally was collected because when Cass Lake Road was repurposed, if you will, it went from, I think, a 2-lane to a 3-lane, and it was repaved by 20 years ago. It was a split between, I think, the federal government, the city, and the county, I believe, to help pay for the improvements. And as such, when you bonded it, you had a way to pay back the bond. And that's how, as a tax vehicle, there were some bond attorneys too. And what we're trying to do is look at how do we want Keego Harbor to look? What's our vision for Keego Harbor, especially the Tifa district, 5, 10, 20 years out? And so what we're doing is we engaged the Gibbs group in Birmingham, and they did a retail study, and they did a residential study for us a little over a year ago. And they found out some of the potential. And then we continued with an engagement with the Gibbs group for sort of an overlay of our Tifa district. And we're thinking about ways we can, I don't want to say modernize, but enliven the Cass Lake Road and make it a more walkable feel. So the residents have, when people are building new homes at Keego Harbor, they can walk to a restaurant, walk to a coffee shop, walk to some retail, and enjoy public space. We want to activate some of the public spaces we have. And so we're studying, we formed a subcommittee, if you will, of a couple council members, 2 planning commission members, 2 people from the Tifa district board, and a resident who is a representative of the community. And we met with Mr. Gibbs, and we talked about, let me tell you, he really encouraged us to be aspirational. He said, don't think, well, this isn't going to happen, this isn't going to work. Because what he found is that we have some pretty strong buying power within a 15, 20-minute drive of Keego Harbor, rivaling any town that you'd probably think of. I mean, people think of Birmingham, they think of Bloomfield, but, within that drive, people were, they're coming from Clarkston, from other areas to come to some of the restaurants in Cass Lake and Orchard Lake. So we started to look at how can we look at, we want tall buildings, small buildings, we want a village feel, we want a small city feel. And as part of the process, we formed a survey. I got to give a lot of credit to Brian Lample, our mayor. We spent a lot of time with Mr. Gibbs designing the website, so we have a really good survey and a good form. PlanKeegoHarbor.com is the website if people want to take a look at it. And it shows what we're thinking of doing down the road in the Tifa district. It shows some different examples of what can be. And there's a survey associated with it, so we learn from the residents. The more community engagement, the better. I always say that we want to plan for the future, but respect the history. So we don't want to dictate to people and have people say, "Oh, why'd you do this?" I mean, we'll try and get some community engagement and really come up with a good, solid plan. Because I tell you, Ronnie, the development is going to come to Keego Harbor. There's no doubt in my mind that things are going to change down the road. If we think about it in a methodical way and we plan appropriately before shovels hit the ground, and you have some standards, if you will, and you have some ordinances and codes in place, you're going to see some really, really cool, innovative development.